Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the career of Alban Zogbaum and the HE-111. It's still September 9th, 1942. In our morning mission, I went up with a plan to drop my 250s on that bridge and try to get a tank kill or two. And looking back at the footage from that episode, it looks like we were just a matter of inches away from getting some kills, but nevertheless, our dry spell continues here in this career, going about 3 or 4 missions now without logging a kill on the stat sheet, which has been disappointing, but we do have a very favorable mission this afternoon. So taking a look here, of course, this is the mission from this morning, Gerd Henschel being wounded in that mission, but we were able to at least get the bridge, only one person getting a kill there. A look this afternoon is bombing a supply depot. So we'll go ahead and head into briefing, but just taking a cursory glance of where we are in this formation. We are going to be towards the middle of the flight and closer to flight lead, and those are normally the ones that get some kills here in this mission. So if there's going to be a mission where we're going to shake the monkey off our back and get some kills, it should be this one. So let's go ahead and get into briefing. Okay, so welcome everybody in here to briefing. Very standard flight route for us today. Of course, taking off from our airfield, and we are heading to the northeast to waypoint 3 and the target, which is that supply depot. And it is located on the western side of the town. You can see we'll be bombing from 3,000 meters at 320 kph in a V formation. We'll be on the lookout for this river, which will be probably the last thing we see through the bomb site before we drop our bombs. Otherwise, we'll have this entire city we'll see. The supply depots are normally pretty easy to spot from high altitudes. They do have some trees that kind of are planted around the perimeter of the supply depot, and it's very recognizable from the air. So we'll be on the lookout for that. Otherwise, we do have a lot of roads leading up to the target. This is a pretty good place for a supply depot. We've got some railroads and a lot of different roads converging. So in terms of identifiers from the air, we should be able to spot this pretty easily. But looking over here in the briefing, so Heinz Hermann Nelte will be flight lead for today. We are going to be wingman number 3 in the flight. Of course, as always, we'll be expecting a fighter escort at waypoint 2, and more than likely have some enemy fighters intercepting us on this mission. Date for the mission, of course, is September 9th, 1942. The time of the flight will be 4:22 this afternoon. Looking here at the weather report, just as we expected from this morning, weather is still clear, and the wind at bomb altitude will be blowing from 270 degrees at 11 meters per second. So that is going to be blowing from west to east, and will more than likely be hitting us in the side, more or less. A little bit of a tailwind, but not exactly. It'll kind of be hitting us at a diagonal angle here from looking at this flight route. Otherwise, our primary objective is to bomb the enemy supply depot in the grid location marked on your flight map right here in this town. Look at the bomber. We're going to keep it the same here with these 500k bombs and the 250. Go ahead and get the cannons on here. We should be good to do it with these bombs. I don't expect the target to be very big. The supply depots normally aren't a too terribly big target, so we're probably pushing the limits in terms of drop time with the 250 and the 500k there. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and get out of briefing, get on the runway, and go into the mission. So here we are in formation, approximately halfway or so to waypoint 2 and that fighter escorts. Look out the windows here. It is a absolutely beautiful day out and a good day for bombing, hopefully. Once again though, there's still a war on and there's a lot that can happen before we get to the target. So regardless of the mission type, our spot in the formation, and the weather on our side, we still have to go out and execute today. Okay, so you just saw the flare coming from flight lead up there. We have approached waypoint 2. Leaning over here, you can see down below is the runway at waypoint 2, and there is our fighter escort. Green flare just shot up there. Looks like 109s yet again will be escorting us. So as we come around here to get pointed in the direction of the target, I'm sure that we will begin climbing up to 3,000 meters per the briefing, which means that it is time to do the bomb sights. Alright, so just waiting for the fighter escort there to stop talking over the radio so I don't talk over them. Let's go ahead and pop into the bomb site. And I've already done the altitude and airspeed. That's the easy stuff. So now all we have to set up is the wind speed and wind angle here. And a slight change from briefing. So instead of 11 meters per second from 270, it's now 10 meters per second from 270. So let's go ahead and put the 10 meters per second in. And then 270 is due west. And it's not going to be hitting us in the side as much as I thought. It's going to be hitting us about there. I'm pretty okay with that, I believe. So I check my work here. I'm actually going to put it at 150. I think it's going to hit us more. No, I liked it the first time. Starting to second guess myself. We'll go with this. That was pretty happy. I'm happy with that. Go ahead and close this wind. Just pop up the view mode here. Get eyes forward. Still well away from the target. You can see it's in this haze up here. Just making that turn. We still have a long way to go before we can see anything through this bomb site. As is usual, we will keep the interval set to 0.05 for right now, but as I start to think about it, let me think about this. I'm going to change it here to 0.10. For right now, we might cycle back to 0.05 there. We'll have to see what the target looks like when we get close. But that's what we're gonna do for right now. We're gonna continue to climb here to 3,000 meters, and soon enough we'll prepare to drop our bombs. Okay, so up ahead you will see a river with some forested area around that river, and then a little bit up towards like the crosshair of the gun sight you'll see a second river And just to the right of the gun sight, actually let me see if I can put it in the gun. No, there's too much of a glare. You might see some plumes of smoke. That plumes of smoke is the target. Well, rather the town that the target is in. So we are getting pretty close. Sitting here on the nose, just looking around. So far, the skies are clear. And there are no clouds in sight. So, hopefully, this continues to be the case. But otherwise, we are getting very close to the target. Very close to dropping our bombs. There's the call. Fighters. So the escort has seen it and called it out. I am gonna let the escort and our guys deal with this because we are close to dropping. So I'm expecting the target to be right about here. Just want to make some last second adjustments. Some flak bursts coming up. Don't hear any of our guns opening up yet. We're getting ready to drop. Any second now, this should be right in this area. In fact, I think I see it. Bomb doors coming open. Got it. In my sights. I see it. Yeah, I got it. I got the target. It's right here. Altitude and airspeed are good. Target in my sights. Here we go. Bombs away. There they are. There's that whole flight in the sun. Of course, we dealt with the glare during the day mission, the morning mission. Now we're dealing with the glare on the return, on the afternoon. There's a mess of aircraft down there. They almost hit each other. Alright, let's not focus on that at the moment. We are flying into that furball. It's in the glare. They're all in the sun right now fighting each other. Hopefully they stay up there. Someone did fly past us, but no shot on this 20mm cannon. Slotting into our spot in the formation. Hello, fellas. Oh, this gives me anxiety. It has gotten eerily quiet. No chatter on the radio. What a frightening experience. Let's just get across the front lines. What is happening? Have we got it figured out, fellas? There's that fight down there. Look. There's an aircraft right there over that airfield. That almost looks like a 109. There's two aircraft down there. They don't seem like they're fighting each other. And I can't really tell if they're friendly or not. That should be our side of the front line. I'm pretty sure this river down here is the front line. But I'm not going to take any chances here. He doesn't look interested in us. If he is coming for us, he's way too low for us. Still some puffs of flak. It's coming straight up. Maybe they're fighting each other. Or maybe they're coming for us. Who knows? They are fighting each other. So one of those is friendly and one of those is not. Never mind, we'll keep an eye on it. Wonder, they are getting awfully close, so that side of the formation might start opening up on these guys. They're going head to head right now. And get an angle on one another. Now he's starting to turn his attention to us. I think he should be coming right underneath me. Kind of lost sight of him. Switching over the tail gun here. I don't see anything anymore. Still shooting us with flak, but we're well into our side of the front line now. I don't see anything. He should have gone underneath me, but there's a pretty big fight going on that is dissipated. So no idea where it's gone or what happened to everybody, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 escorts above us, so I'd say whatever they were fighting, it's gone now. Okay, just up ahead is our hometown and our home base on the opposite side of the town and this river. So, we have made it back to base. This is probably going to be a shorter episode because not much happened. And old me would have been awfully disappointed about this, but considering the recent missions and events that we've had to endure in the latter parts of this career, I am not opposed to having an easy mission of things. This was definitely a welcome change of pace, and I'm sure this bomber crew has appreciated it. I think in the last 4 missions we've been shot down twice, so I think everybody's probably very happy to, 1, see home base down there, and 2, not have to use these guns on this aircraft today. Escort did their job, and did their job well, and kept those fighters that came up to intercept us, kept them off our tail, and because of that, we're going to be able to put this thing on the ground, hopefully with wheels down. About 15 here to start. So we make our turn. That's probably good enough here. Make our approach. Chuck some throttle into this. Looping around. There's the airfield coming into view. Gear is coming down now. Let's take some throttle out. Just put some more flaps in. We're at 250 right now. We're cutting the throttle even more. Gears down. More flaps, please. Got a good bit of flaps in it. We're at 200 now, dropping, closing into stall speed. Aim for the front of the runway. Let's pull up. Pull up. Oh, a little bit of a bounce. And we're down. Not a bad landing, definitely not my best, but definitely not as bad as last time, right? So go ahead and get this thing off the runway here. Getting told to get off the runway. Of course, our bomber friends will be coming in after us. Cool. What a easy mission. Okay, so mission accomplished, and we're back on the scoreboard. You can see there are 3 facility kills for us on this mission. Definitely makes up and definitely finishes the story of this milk run that we were on today. Fighters got some fun, and they kept them off our tail. We didn't need to fire a single gun off of this plane, from what I could hear at least. We'll have to check the footage, of course. You'll know before I do. But seems like a pretty easy mission for us. Let's go ahead and see how everybody else did. Okay, so here is the guys, and not what I was expecting for this mission. Of course, our 3 kills here on the facilities. But other than that, only Simon Hapatch getting kills, and he got 4 buildings on his bombing run, which leaves the squadron with a total of 7 kills on the mission. Definitely not what I was expecting, as the other supply depot bombing runs that we have done in this career mode ended up being very successful for us. So definitely good hits on target, but definitely not the stat line I was looking to see from everybody else. But nevertheless, we got the monkey off our back, and we got some kills today. So let's head over to Alban's stats, which finally will be changing. Here you go. Here it is. 5 aircraft kills, 3 vehicles, 4 armaments, and now 11 buildings. 10 of those being facility kills, and of course the 1 bridge. So not a bad day for us, but definitely hoping for some more accurate bombs later on. But anyways, that will do it for this episode. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we hope to see you in the next video. Take care.